Instead of celebrating a ceasefire, Azerbaijan is still burying its dead. A truce declared on the weekend held for just hours. Azerbaijan has accused Armenia of shattering the agreement and shelling its second largest city, Ganja. 9 civilians were killed. Russia has a close relationship with both Azerbaijan and Armenia. It brokered the ceasefire on the weekend, and news of its prompt unravelling has angered Moscow.
We reached an important agreement initiated by President Putin, but we see that this agreement is not being fully complied with, and the fighting is continuing.
Nagorno-Karabakh sits within Azerbaijan but is under the control of Armenian forces. Fighting in the region intensified 2 weeks ago. Since then, Azerbaijan says more than 40 people have been killed and upwards of 1,000 buildings damaged or destroyed.
At first glance, the island of Gotland may not look like a strategic outpost. But in late August, this tranquil summer retreat was the stage of military exercises on a scale not seen here since the end of the Cold War. A signal aimed at Russia. Concerns about Russia's intention in the region have risen since Moscow's annexation of Crimea in 2014. Russia's and Sweden's latest move were further demonstration of how the security situation has deteriorated along Europe's eastern edge.
For Europe, we have the tensions in the south with Libya, we have tensions with Syria, we have Greece and Turkey quarrel, we have the Eastern Europe with Ukraine and Crimea, and now we have social unrest in Belarus.
China has reacted to India's big infrastructural push along the line of actual control in Ladakh and Arunachal Pradesh. China has said that the Indian side has been ramping up infrastructure development along the border and stepping up military deployment, which is the root cause of the tension between the two sides. Now, adding to the statement, the Chinese Foreign Ministry said that it does not recognize the Union territory of Ladakh. China called the establishment illegal.
Well, yes, Alison, the developments have come in reaction to the Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh yesterday inaugurating 44 bridges, especially in union territories and states which are bordering China.
Could police be involved in the theft of livestock around the small Free State town of Senekal? Well, police watchdog IPID is investigating these allegations. This as Police Minister Becky Cele confirmed one suspect in the Brendan Horner murder case has previously been arrested on 16 occasions. Nearly 2 weeks ago, the farm foreman was found murdered, apparently after he stumbled across stock thieves who turned on him. ENCA's Barry Bateman reports.
Photos of alleged stock thieves form part of an extensive dossier. Most startling is the alleged link to the police. Farmers who conducted their own investigations tracked cell phone numbers and vehicles to police officers. Senior officers allegedly helped the stock thieves. These officers have been tied directly to scenes where sheep and cattle have been stolen. The farmers believe the murder of Brendan Horner could have been prevented if the police had acted on the information. Newspaper Rapport reported the dossier was handed over to the Hawks in January. But the Hawks in the Free State say they only received it a week ago.
A group of farmers fears being kicked off a farm they successfully reclaimed as part of the land redistribution. The farmers allege that they're being evicted for refusing to pay bribes. They say they have constantly been trying to dodge corruption or corrupt officials from the Department of Agriculture in Emenu. Now, the alleged harassment has brought fears of emerging farmers' exclusion from the redistribution process.
Zoli, there's been anecdotal evidence of abuse with farmland, state-owned farmland that's been granted for emerging farmers over the last year that emerges. But this is a group of farmers in the Ermelo district, in Katsibande municipal district in Mpumalanga, of 17 farmers who discovered that they all are struggling with the same fate, and all of them have been given eviction notices.
Built during the first wave of infections and then forgotten over the summer, these so-called Nightingale hospitals are now being reopened once more.
They're being asked to mobilise over the next few weeks to be ready to accept patients.
Evidence has been steadily growing that the United Kingdom has lost almost all control over the virus. Recent data suggested as many as 22,000 people a day are developing COVID symptoms, and ICU admissions are on the rise.
If infections continue to rise, in just 4 more weeks, they could be treating more patients than they were during the peak of the first wave.
The national anthem echoing on the street outside the president's home. Thousands of people came out to protest against the handling of the economy, the pandemic, and attempts to reform the judiciary.
The government says these protesters are trying to generate instability at an extremely difficult time in the country, when there's a pandemic, unemployment and poverty levels are on the rise. But these people say they're here to denounce what they say is a parallel agenda to protect Vice President Cristina Fernández de Kirchner.
In the past few months, and in spite of the pandemic, the government has tried to pass judicial reform and remove 3 judges involved in the trials of the vice president.
National capital, of course you've noticed it already. Air quality in the Delhi area has begun to dip as stubble burning, what else, has started in the neighbouring states another year running. According to India Today's Data Intelligence Unit, satellites have detected nearly 8,000 stubble burning incidents in just the last 1 month, mainly in Punjab and Haryana. Delhi's air quality has been in the poor category since last week due to stubble burning. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal is set to launch a biodegradable process to deal with unwanted stubble which farmers otherwise burn in the open. The new technology, biodegradable decomposers, will be launched at a village near Narela, and the government plans its widespread distribution to all other villages of Delhi.
보통 같은 만세의 환호성을 높아지고 경의의 축포가 터져올라 시원하시고 오진 광풍을 길들이시며 저국과 인민을 영광의 탄성에 받들어 올리신 우리 당과 국가의 위대한 대표자이시고 우리 영령의 탁월한 용도자이신 김정은 동지께서 열병식 광장 주석단에 나오십니다. 귀여운 어린이들이 최고 용도자 동지와 당과 정부의 간부들에게 향기그윽한 꽃다발을 드리고 있습니다.
믿음직한 수도당원 사단 전투원들에게도 전투적 공호와 감사의 인사를 보냅니다.
Columbus Day has been a federal holiday since 1937, but this year the day set aside to mark Christopher Columbus's discovery of the New World has been marked with drama and unrest.
Now it's Honest Abe's turn. A statue of the revered President Lincoln was torn down in Portland, scene of weeks of violent protests. So was a statue of President Theodore Roosevelt, toppled and vandalized. President Trump blamed Antifa radicals and urged the FBI to get them now.
Happy Columbus Day.
There was a more conventional Columbus Day ceremony in New York as Governor Andrew Cuomo unveiled a statue of the Italian-American saint Mother Cabrini in Lower Manhattan.